Yeah, just Brian, I guess first congratulations and kind of during a time like this, what are some of the emotions that come with it as you start to wind down your final week here?
Well, thank you, first of all. I think, there's a lot of emotions that come to your mind. I think when you start getting towards the end of the season and your career, I mean, you start thinking about the beginning when I first came here when I was 18 and seeing the support that the fan base has for the team and the city has for the team. And just all those memories, guys you played with, that I've made lifelong friendships with from our championship runs as well. I mean, you start thinking about all these people that have helped get me to this point in my career where I've been able to stay here my whole career. I think it's a lot of emotions, a lot of it's kind of bittersweet. I think it's going through a lot my last couple of years here. I feel it's the right time, but there's definitely a lot of things that go through your mind, thinking about the past and all the good times and good memories I've had here.
And what are lessons and sort of just experiences that you can take from all these years in the pro game and really back to junior into the next phase of life?
Well, I think when it comes to, playing hockey for a living, I think it's enjoy it every day. I think the young guys that go through pro in the beginning, you never know how long your career is going to be, and just to enjoy every moment you have and prove your support system right every single day, prove them correct. And I think a lot of people have, people in their corner that, and I'm no different. I've had people in this organization that are still here since when I was a teenager that have had my back and have believed in me. And I think I lived my life and my career to prove those people right. And I think if you can do that every single day, I think it adds up over time. And I was lucky enough to have a long, long career in one place. And I've said in the past, I did it for a reason. I think, I'm loyal to the people that have been here for a while, and I'm loyal to the city and to the Red Wings organization. And I've had a lot of good people in my corner, and I just worked every day to try and prove them right. So I think those types of things you can use when you move on and into the next phase, to help yourself have a long career in whatever you do next.
Thank you.
Hi, Brian. What kind of legacy are you hoping that you're leaving behind here in Grand Rapids?
I think when people think about me and my time in Grand Rapids, I think I just want to be remembered as someone who gave everything I had since day one. Like I've said, I've played here my whole career in one spot. I'm grateful for that. I'm very lucky. Not a lot of guys have the ability to do that, especially in the American League with the amount of changes that go on. And I hope every player that's come through here, um, if I've had anything to do with their small part and helping them, the young players get to the NHL, I mean, that means a ton to me. It was something I took a lot of pride in over the last, probably the second half of my career. And if I was able to help anyone in any way, I think that means a ton to me. And then when it comes to the games and the wars that I went through with a lot of just unbelievable people and players, I mean, just that I was able to give everything I had to the team, the organization and the city.
Yeah. And then when you look back on your career though, are there any moments big or small that just are really going to stick with you for the rest of your life?
I think moments themselves, I think obviously the championships, I mean, I think those are the easiest things to point out. I mean, they're some of the best, moments in my life. And like I've said, I have lifelong friends from those teams that, uh, and that's the amazing thing about this sport. I think when you're able to do something like that, that you have a special bond with those players, guys I still keep in contact with. And I mean, those are really special moments that I'll remember forever. And then I think when you get to the end, you start thinking about the beginning a little bit and coming in here at such a young age and the people that kind of took me under the wing. I think of Brad Thompson and Kelly Pollock in the front office and Randy Cleves and Tim Gortzma and Bob Kaiser. I mean, these are people that have been here my whole career, and they're like family to me when I come into the office and come into the rink every day. They believe in me. So um, those are things that you start thinking about when you get towards the end.
Yeah. Now, what are you kind of expecting Friday to be like for you?
Emotional, I think. I think it's going to be. Uh, it might hit me when I get there for sure. When I get to the rink, I think walking in for the last time as a player, and I think it's going to be. Um, it might be a little tough in the beginning, but at the end of the day, I got to play a game, and like I've done my whole career, try and um, help the team and give them everything I have, and give them what's left in the tank.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hi, Brian. Congratulations on your career. And just wonder, could you take us back to your junior days and just the whole process of how you joined the Griffins and the Red Wings organization? How did that come about? Who are some of the front office people or scouts that you talked to that recruited you in?
Well, I was in Barrie, Ontario, playing for the Colts in the OHL, and I remember not having the draft year that I wanted, but and I didn't get drafted, and I thought maybe that I would, but maybe I wouldn't, but the draft went by, and I remember being disappointed in that, and as soon as the draft ended, um, I got a call from I think my agent at the time, and getting invited to training camp with Detroit. They had just won the Stanley Cup, and it was a great opportunity. And they were the only team that called, and I was thrilled to get that opportunity to go to camp with Detroit. Obviously, they had just won, and it was a great experience. And but I think I was able to go to camp and earn a contract through the prospect tournament and main camp at 18. And I think of the people back then. I mean, Yuri Fisher had a lot to do with that, and Ken Holland, Jim Nill, Ryan Martin, Paul McDonnell. I mean, a lot of guys that really were there for me, that believed in me. And I think when I'm at that age, looking back when I was that age, I mean, like I said, that was the only team that called, and I'm lucky enough that I'm still in the organization this many years later.
And also, age 32 is still fairly young. I mean, a lot of guys are playing well into their 30s. Just what was your ultimate decision to retire now?
I think the biggest thing for me was probably some injuries and wear and tear that I've kind of accumulated over the last couple of years, that I've started to feel on a daily basis, and has made things a little bit harder for me on a daily basis here. So I think that kind of made my decision easier. I think I was going through some stuff the last year or two that I tried to keep quiet in the room, and so it made it hard, but still tried to give everything I possibly could. And I think that made the decision, like I said, a little bit easier, and that I started getting to the point where I knew that it was probably time to start thinking about putting the team and the organization in a better spot, if I wasn't going to be able to give what I had given for a long time here. So
Thanks, Brian.
Brian, first off, congratulations on an incredible career. Sad to see it come to a close, honestly. As for the process of this decision, was this something that you kind of had on the back of your mind last summer and you decided to run it back for one more year? Or as the season went on, you kind of said, this is it for you?
I think last summer I was gonna probably take it. I was thinking about it last summer. I mean, I'm thinking about taking it year by year. I think at that point, and seeing how my body felt. I mean, I knew what I was going into. I mean, I've had to, you train in the summers to get ready for a long season, and I knew what that was going to entail. And so I think initially I put a lot of stuff out of my mind and train for the season and try and put myself in the best position to be a good player for this team and the organization. And as the year went on, I obviously everybody goes through, you know, there are bumps and bruises and injuries during the year, and I think with me doing the same thing, but also having some older things that have kind of continued to have played with and play through, I think it made the decision a little bit easier as the year went on.
Yeah, and I'm sure you obviously spoke to the coaching staff and all the boys in the locker room. What were their reactions when you initially told them that this was going to be it for you?
Well, I think I've been in constant contact with definitely the coaching staff a little bit with how I've been feeling, and the guys in the room, I think, started to realize, you know, the way I was talking probably at the end, but you know, it's, you know, understanding. I think everybody knows. I think there's a bit of sadness for sure. I mean, I've been here for a long time. There's a lot of people that, you know, I've been in the organization with for a long time, even players too, that not having me in the locker room as a player, I think is going to be different for sure. But, you know, I can't say enough good things about the coaching staff here that have, you know, helped me along the way and in this process of getting me through this year, and they've been here for a long time, and I think I have, you know, great friends in that room that I've learned a lot from, and the players as well.
And obviously, you've been a leader, a teacher, and a mentor for a lot of these young players coming through here for years now. But flipping the script around on you, you know, what are some of the lessons that you've learned as of late here with the Griffins that you want to carry with yourself into your next chapter?
I think number one, like I said earlier, I think you enjoy every day you get to play in this league, and you know, the only way out of any sort of adversity is through it and attack it head on. And you know, I've been in probably every single scenario that any kid that's going to come through is going to go through. I've been through it. You know, I've been injured. I've been sent down. I've been called up. I was undrafted, had to earn a contract. I've seen everything that they're going to go through, and it can be an emotional roller coaster at times. And to try and stay as even keel as possible and understand that the only way out of anything like that is to continue to push through. And I think good people and hard workers will usually prevail in the end when it comes to any sort of adversity that they're going to face. So I think there's a lot of lessons I've learned over my career that I look forward to hopefully passing along to guys as they come through.
And then last one for me, have you had any time to kind of think about what's next for you? Or are you just kind of maybe trying to enjoy some time off first and then deal with it later?
Yeah, I'll probably take some time for sure. I think, you know, after this many years, you spend some time with my family and kind of enjoy that aspect of things. And then I know I want to stay in hockey. I know I think I have a lot to offer in whatever I do when it comes to staying in hockey. So I think I'll cross that bridge when I get there. But there's definitely things that I think I can bring to the table when it comes to helping these players, you know, try and get to the next level. Because like I said earlier, I've kind of been through every single scenario that you can throw at a player when they're playing, especially in the minors.
Thanks a lot, Brian.
If someone would have told you when you were 18, when you were first getting to Grand Rapids, that you'd spend the next 15 seasons, you know, in the state of Michigan, going back and forth between the Red Wings and the Griffins, how do you think you would have reacted then to that?
I don't know if I would have believed him. You know, I think I've had a lot of guys joke that I should have probably tried to buy a house or something when I was 18, when I first played here. But I didn't know that it was going to be. I didn't know it was going to be this long. But I think as the years went on, and when I was younger, and as the years went on, I think just my love for the organization and the Red Wings, and you know, just the staffs that they've had. And the guys that have come through, the players, I mean, it just made me, I just became more and more entrenched in everything, and you know, and it was a place that I didn't want to leave. And yeah, I wouldn't have believed you if you told me that I'd still be here, and you know, at this point, when I was 18.
Hey, Brian, first off, congrats on an incredible career, and best of luck in retirement. Continuing what you mentioned about wanting to stay in the game, is your goal to do so in the Griffins and Red Wings organization?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think it's So I think it's a natural fit with me being here so long, and I've done the things that I've been able to do in Grand Rapids, and the amount of work that goes into, I think, being a leader. There's been a lot of guys that have been in leadership roles in Grand Rapids that have done a great job, and I've learned from them. But I think we'll talk about that probably over the next little while here, and see if there's a fit. And I hope there is. I mean, I have a lot of love for the organization, and the work ethic I put in as a player. I think that'll be the same way in whatever I do next.
And you mentioned a moment ago that you hope you had an impact on any of the young players who came through the Griffins, especially in the latter half of your career. Can you remember any players in particular who came through Grand Rapids that especially looked up to you, or that the organization even asked you to kind of mentor in particular?
Well, there's been a lot of guys over the years for sure. I mean, especially younger D-men that have come through Grand Rapids that, you have I think in my role, a responsibility to help them through any sort of adversity they're dealing with, and when they're doing well, to let them know. And I think momentum's huge for the young guys to be able to ride it and play themselves out of this league. But over the years, I think Phil Hronek is a guy that I loved my time with Phil, and I think we worked together well, and I think a lot of the guys that I played with, I think that helps a ton too. And when you're playing with these young guys on a day-to-day basis, and you're paired with them, Moritz Sider is a guy that was down here that I played a little bit with, and these guys that have come through Grand Rapids and that are playing in Detroit now, and Gus Lidstrom, I played with him. And if I could help these guys in any way, I hope I hope they feel that way. And it means a lot to see these guys come through Grand Rapids and then play in the NHL.
Thanks again, Brian, and congratulations.
Thank you.